to have you. Foul weather? Bah! I have always been convinced that existing influence... I have told you before, sir, I had nothing to do with that anonymous article. Nothing, I say.
That is a lie, sir. And you know it.
Bah, I don't have time for this nonsense.
Nonsense? It is my name and reputation you have willfully besmirched, sir. My very name.
Bah! Drive, damn you, drive!
That is Richard Owen, a vile, despicable wretch of a man.
Really? I could have sworn you were close friends.
Mr. Owen works at the asylum. He will know who made the syrup. Get him! Get him!
He's getting away. Yeah! Whatever Darwin is paying you, it's not worth it. Do you realize how much trouble you're in?
None at all?
You're trying to intimidate me, Ruffy, and you're wasting your time.
I've always wondered how much of a beating this type of vehicle could take.
Coming through!
River Thames! Better speak now, old man.
Stop! For pity's sake, stop, or I will tell you everything I know. Dr. John Elliotson. He formulated the elixir. He's the man you want, not me. I beg you, good sir, stop this madness.
Now, was that so hard?
Yes.
That's a girl.
Got something to tell you. These past few days when I've been doing my round, some bampot starts following me. Nervous looking laddie. Oh, he's up to no good.
Tell you what, do your rounds as usual. If he appears, I'll keep an eye on him. When we return, put him into the train.
Aye, all right.
Agnes, take care. There's a gang out looking for you.
Ugh, not at all. Just one glaikit laddie following me.
You certain?
Certain as can be.
There he is, the rascal.
What kind of name is Rock anyway, you barmy bastards?
Are you hiding from someone?
Watch where you're bloody going.
I'm so sorry, miss.
That's Mrs. to you, you great oaf. What's that man doing, Mama?
You damn pillock.
Sorry, but that woman's from an important gang.
Gang? What gang's that?
I think it's in a train.
Sounds like the bastards will be okay, look. Alert the lads on the rooftops. We'll take her out.
She's right there. Look at the ninny following her around.
Who's that idiot following her?
That bloke couldn't keep up with a turtle.
Who's that idiot following her?
Forget about that moron following her. She's the one we're after.
Who's that?
They've got her!
Agnes, are you all right, dear? Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? There's a whole gang out to get you. No, some Egypt can't even follow me proper.
No, they're dangerous. There might be an ambush in the station.
Didn't be daft.
I must get to the station before Agnes does.
You'll not find better prices this side of the town.
Jesus, God, it's dead! You'll be singing a different tune once
She's weak!
I can clip it from here.
I'm smashing bacon.
That's that then? Now, what's happening with the fellow who's following Agnes?
Who are you?
Nigel Bumble.
Why were you following us?
I want to join your gang.
Ah, for Christ's sake, he knows who we are now. All right, laddie. I can use you to tidy up the train a bit, if you didn't mind getting dirty.
Really? Terrific! You won't regret it, miss.
Written it again.
Solid okay. Good for putting a bit of stick about.
Nigel went out drinking with a gang last night. They ran up against some Templars and killed one. But Nigel was too sozzled to get away. Knew the constables have him up for murder.
You're dead, lad. Mindful of your driving!
This is going to go bad for you. Confess, and you'll save us all some grief.
Oh, I didn't do nothing. So help me, Bob. Miss Evie, we kept buying drinks. The next thing I know, they say I burnt someone.
Oh, Nigel.
I had one too many and lost all my things. There must be scatters all about. Oh, and there's a knife out there too. Could you get them before the Rozzers do?
Yeah! Shut up!
The guilty party doesn't have a hat. If you find a hat that fits him, that's a death warrant. Walk on, or I'll have you behind bars. The Chief Inspector is due any second.
The lad's a bad penny. You can tell just by looking at him.
The Chief Inspector is due any second. Something was here a minute ago. I seen it out the corner of my eye. We'll be needing a murder weapon.
swear by the Almighty there was something right here.
I didn't do nothing!
And what evidence are you holding this man?
Why, Sergeant?
I believe at a minimum you need a body.
We can't find a thing, Inspector.
You botched another one, Sergeant.
How nice to see you again, Mr. Dickens. Is it time for another of the Ghost Club stories?
As a matter of fact, yes. Number 50, Berkeley Square. 4 stories high and branded, "Beware all those who enter." There have been many strange tales of this dreadful domicile. The earliest report of a haunting was said to be the spectre of a small girl who was murdered by a servant. She could be seen at the attic windows, weeping and wringing her little hands in an agony of despair. You're not afraid. Another legend claims the attic is haunted by the spirit of a young woman who purportedly threw herself from the top floor windows to escape her abusive uncle. Her screaming ghost has reportedly been sighted hanging from the window ledge. This residence was briefly owned by a Mr. James Jasper, a choir master and an opium addict. His nephew Edward was betrothed to one of Mr. Jasper's pupils, the fair and delicate Rose. However, Edward disappeared under mysterious circumstances, followed by Jasper himself. Perhaps grief sent him back to the soothing arms of his narcotic mistress.
Faster! Move it! Come on! Come on! Slowly. Atta girl.
Shall we? Though this house is vacant, some say it comes alive at night with screams of terror, ringing bells, and slamming shutters. Although eerie, this phenomenon is easily produced by pneumatic tubes and valves. There are claims that a young man was caged in the attic, his only connection to the rest of the world a tiny hole in the door. A young man who was reduced to madness by this extreme isolation. The legends all seem to focus on one room in particular. A sudden draft. Nothing more. My word. Perhaps I shall wait here while you investigate the source of that laughter. which is not at all unsettling.
You're a brute who beats me below the
I hope.
If you follow.
Let me go, you moke!
Charming.
All right, then.
Now tell me, why were you at that house?
What's it to you?
Out with it.
All right. We were there for the treasure. We found a key to the secret passage.
What secret passage?
Yeah, number 50's got a secret passage. Here, take it. Just leave me be.
Yeah.
Walk on, my beauty.
That's it.
I've found a lock, but I haven't located the key.
It's here.
Ha! So this is how it works.
Impressive.
Get out of my house!
Stand back, Charles.
I did it in my mind! And I did it over and over again!
There was no one whose love for Rosa came near to equaling mine. It should have been enough to keep my beloved nephew away. My poor Ned. Forgive.
Alas, the myth has been discredited. There was no ghost in Berkeley Square, just a wretched soul, driven to murder and madness by guilt and intoxication. I think this is the makings of a rather fine novel. I wonder if I've got one left in me.
Another exciting night home for Evie Fry.
Just on my way out, actually. I found the piece of Eden.
What's this one going to do, Heal the sick, deflect bullets, control the populace?
They're dangerous objects, Jacob, especially in Templar hands.
You sound exactly like Father.
If only. Lucy Thorne is expecting a shipment tonight. She's Starrick's expert in the occult. I'm nearly certain she is receiving the piece of Eden Sir David Brewster mentioned.
Sounds like fun. Mind if I join you?
Promise you will stick to the mission.
I swear.
The contents of that box are worth more than your life and those of your entire family. Do you understand?
Yes, Miss Thorne. Careful there! And double the guard on that cart!
Now, Miss Thorne, there's the matter of some papers for Mr. Starrick. If you'll just come this way.
Very well, but make it quick.
Whatever it is she's after, it's in that chest.
There are gunmen on the rooftops.
Can you dispose of them before I reach the cart?
I was hoping for a challenge.
There's no escape for you after this.
Did you hear her? The contents of that box is worth more than what your life is.
Let's see what's amiss. You lost? Not my problem. Go away!
Did you find it?
Actually.
There he is!
I think it's best we leave.
What did you do?
It's hardly the time for questions!
Whoa! Come on!
I'd rather get home before they block us over and treat you to a best.
Then where's your piece of Eden?
Get us out of this and I might find out!
Come over here and get us there!
Jacob, stop it!
That's the way.
What are we supposed to do with this?
If only we had the time! I need cartridges!
Use mine! Get back here!
Steady on.
My sister will give you a walloping!
Jacob, careful!
What is it?
It's papers, Jacob! Documents, research!
I'm trying up for something can't then! My sister can dodge bullets too!
What?
That looks like a mistake. Come over here!
I'm out of bullets! Jacob, stop it!
That's the way.
Whoa now!
Well, that was fun. Thanks for the invitation.
Let's do it again.
Damn it.
We fixed up the train for you. Lick of paint, new rugs from Camden Loch, and my wee sister, the seamstress, did a discount on the curtains.
You may have not found a piece of Eden, but this material is invaluable. Look. It says the London assassins had found a shroud.
The Shroud of Eden is supposed to heal even the gravest injury. If the assassins had found something like this, surely Father would have known.
There must be something we're missing.
Something only we can see. These look like directions. Are you coming?
Fieldwork is not really my speciality.
We found a clue to a precursor object. Don't you want to follow it?
Put that way, one can hardly refuse. Do you know, I think this map may be taking us to the Kenway mansion.
Kenway? The pirate?
Master assassin and pirate, yes.
How much do you know about the Shroud of Eden?
It's said to heal the sick. Popular myth is that it brings people back from the dead, but the assassin records say that's not true. I've never heard of one being in London, though. Do you really think Edward Kenway could have found one?
He traveled extensively, so it's possible. But if he did, he kept it a closely guarded secret.
But if it's true, what a find it would be.
Indeed. I'm eager to find out myself. I think this is it.
I think you're right. Look.
I'll be in the study. I don't want to be interrupted unless you have news of the lost notebook.
That makes getting in a challenge.
You still intend to enter?
If this is a Templar stronghold, it won't get any easier. But don't worry. We'll stay well away from Miss Lucy. Shall we? Can you check over there?
Of course.
You're a minute away from death!
This is a waste. Ooh.
What are we looking for?
I'm not quite sure.
What are the Templars not seeing?
Something only we can.
Not enormously subtle, is it?
Clearly, Kenway had a strong sense of spectacle.
This is incredible.
The history of the London assassins. Bolt holes, vaults, a hidden key. This is it.
You say you heard music? There was no opening there before.
It's closing!
Yes, I can see that. Help me block it.
We need to find another way out.
You two, get Henrietta. Try to find if there's another exit.
An entire vault, filled with assassin history, left behind once again.
We'll just have to reclaim this one later, or find a better cache.
We? I thought you preferred to stay out of field work.
I was thinking more of you and your brother. I shall provide planning assistance from the train.
Jacob's...
Very good.
Mr. Fry, I trust that you had a productive meeting with Mr. Owen.
Oh, yes, we had the most wonderful chat. I found out the man behind Starrick's soothing syrup is John Elliotson.
Dr. Elliotson, I haven't heard that name in a long while. He was a brilliant heart specialist until he became obsessed with phrenology and mesmerism. It ruined his career. Well, how shall we proceed?
Oh, with all respect, Mr. Darwin, I believe I should proceed alone. After all, we wouldn't want to attract any unwanted attention.
Sounds very wise. Good luck, my boy. Oh, and Mr. Fry, should you find yourself with any free time, please do call on me.
Where would I find the doctor? Ah.
As you've just witnessed, the application of too much pressure can sometimes result in unexpected outcomes. Unfortunately, it appears I've ruined the organ. Send up a cadaver.
At once, Dr. Elliotson.
I don't care about your ethics, and I care even less about your damn patients. Now hand over your keys.
What are you doing?
Haven't you heard? You're fired. Now bugger off.
How to do it.
I hate my life.
Did I hear something? Problem.
Of course not, Dr. Elliotson. It will only take a moment. Here it is, Doctor.
We will continue our experiment shortly. In a moment, we will compare the brains of our two specimens. Since both specimens... At last it ends. Yet I can only think of beginnings. A better tomorrow. Forged with the blood of visionaries.
All I see is the blood of a lunatic.
Do you truly believe murdering an old man will stop humanity's great architect? Crawfor Starrick has a glorious design for mankind.
Designs are meant to be broken.
You're a child. A child who believes he can solve all the world's woes with a flick of a blade. Have you ever pondered the consequences of your actions, Jacob Fry? Or did your father teach you nothing?
Elliotson expired, and soothing syrup production has ceased? Outrageous!
Fry intends to endanger all of London at the hands of the mob.
Or perhaps he doesn't intend much of anything at all.
Thank
He's
you for
simply content to dice with our lives.
The asylum is shut up. Medical care throughout the city is in disarray. He cannot understand the consequences of his actions. The man is clearly an anarchist!
Gentlemen. This tea was brought to me from India. By a ship. And up from the harbor to a factory, where it was packaged and ferried by carriage to my door. Unpacked in the larder and brought upstairs to me. All by men and women who work for me. Who are indebted to me, Crawfor Starrick. For their jobs, the time, the very lives they lead. They will work in my factories, and so too shall their children. And you come to me with talk of this Jacob Fry. This insignificant blemish who calls himself assassin? You disrespect the very city that works day and night so that we may drink this miracle, this tea.
I'm nearing the end of my research. Our beloved London shall not suffer such a bothersome fool for much longer.
And what of this sister I've heard of, Miss Fry?
Miss Fry shall be gutted. Soon enough. Delicious.
Sorry to interrupt, Initiate. Thought you'd like to know that Sean and Rebecca got away from Otzoberg. Berg runs a unit called Sigma Team. Violet DaCosta is his tech support. They've been hunting and killing assassins for a long time. Thank God you're all right.
Oh, tish tosh. It'll take more than a Templar super soldier to end the glorious saga of Sean Danger Hastings.
I was talking to Rebecca.
Right. Anyway, Berg's presence confirms it. The Peace of Eden is in London.
The Initiate's data sync suggests it's the Shroud.
The Templars seem to want it pretty bad all of a sudden. They must know something we don't.
The only thing we know is that we can't go up against Sigma Team alone.
Leave that to me. In the meantime, keep a low profile. Let the Initiate continue to sync the data.